All right, today we're jumping into a real modern-day detective story. But forget fingerprints and DNA, we're talking about data prints, the digital breadcrumbs left behind by a massive, almost invisible crime that is literally poisoning our planet. So here's the central mystery we're trying to solve. Every single year, millions of tons of hazardous electronic waste, old phones, computers, batteries, they just vanish. And they're not being properly recycled. So where are they going? And how is this all happening right under our noses? Okay, let's dive right into the crime scene. What we're dealing with here is a multi-billion-dollar shadow industry, and it's built entirely on deception. You see, this isn't just a simple case of illegal dumping. Oh no, it's a super sophisticated global operation. We're talking about hazardous waste being deliberately mislabeled and hidden inside shipments of so-called used goods. And they do this to get around international laws like the Basel Convention, which was created to stop exactly this kind of thing. And the stakes? They could not be higher. This shadow trade is poisoning entire communities, releasing heavy metals like lead and mercury straight into the soil and water. When they burn the plastic to get to the valuable metals, it releases cancer-causing dioxins. So it's a public health crisis and a complex economic crime all rolled into one. But here's where it gets really interesting. In their attempt to hide what they're doing, these criminals actually create a unique clue, kind of like a digital fingerprint that we can track. It's called the waste signature, and it's pretty simple when you think about it. Valuable stuff, right? It gets traded for a high price. But waste is junk you want to get rid of, so you move a lot of it for very, very little money. This weird inverse relationship between price and volume, that's the telltale sign that something is seriously wrong. And this just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got a legitimate product. It holds its value. But on the right, you see that waste signature in action. The price just collapses while the volume goes through the roof. It is a crystal clear economic fingerprint for junk. So the big question is, how in the world do you find this one single fingerprint when it's hidden in literally billions of global trade records? Well, you don't send a person. You build a digital detective, a data-driven framework designed to hunt for this exact pattern. And here's the game plan for our digital detective. First, it has to clean up all this messy UN trade data. Then it uses this really clever peel the onion method to find and isolate the weirdest, most suspicious trade patterns. After that, it calculates a waste score for every single product. And finally, it turns all that crazy complex analysis into simple, easy-to-use dashboards for law enforcement. And what's crucial here is that this isn't some black box. The model's logic is totally transparent. We know exactly how it thinks, and it confirms our main theory. It flags products that are traded in huge volumes at rock-bottom prices with a value that's just plummeting. Okay, now for the really fun part. Let's see our digital detective in action. We're going to compare the guilty with the innocent and find our smoking gun. First things first, we need a baseline for what guilty actually looks like in the data. So here's the profile for real declared scrap metal. See its position on the chart? Way out there, super high volume, super low price. This is our benchmark for junk. And now, here's the complete opposite. This is the profile for high-tech integrated circuits, computer chips. It's exactly where you'd expect it to be. High price, lower volume. This sets our innocent profile. And then the detective finds this, a whole category for electric generators, valuable finished pieces of machinery that is being traded with the exact same data signature as scrap metal. This is the anomaly. This is the clue that cracks the whole case wide open. Why on earth would a valuable product be treated like garbage? Well, the answer is right here in the data. The model gave these generators a waste score of 0.52. Now, to put that in perspective, that is an even higher risk score than the one for actual declared scrap metal. It's literally riskier than junk. And here is the motive. It's simple. Follow the money. If you want to import actual scrap metal into Malaysia, you pay a 5% tariff. But if you import electric generators, 0%. So by mislabeling their e-waste as used generators, criminals are exploiting a massive tax loophole, saving millions and hiding their crime in plain sight. And you have to understand, this isn't just about one shipment or one country. The data allows us to zoom out and see this vast, interconnected network. It's a truly global shadow trade. The analysis pinpoints East Asia as the #1 risk hotspot. Exports coming out of Japan, South Korea, and China show the highest average waste scores. This gives regulators a crystal clear map of where they need to focus their enforcement efforts. And believe it or not, the implications here get even bigger. As the research points out, this isn't just about waste. This whole technique of manipulating trade data, well, it's a classic hallmark of trade-based money laundering, which is a massive financial crime. It's a dual motive crime, hitting both environmental protection and financial integrity. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It proves that we actually have the tools to fight back. Instead of just relying on random, lucky inspections at ports, we can use data science to go from being reactive to being proactive. We can use intelligent governance to protect our planet and our economies. Which really just leaves us with one final, kind of chilling thought. If a global criminal enterprise this huge was hiding in plain sight, inside publicly available data, just waiting for someone to ask the right questions, what other secrets are buried in the numbers, just waiting for a digital detective to uncover them?